Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope that by the time you are viewing this, that your Friday has started off and is indeed fantastic. What's up with this collar on this shirt today? But okay. Anyway, I just want to come on. Here we are in August the 30th. Wow, this year has really, really flown by. Looking at September like knocking at the door. But I just want to come on. I've been personally dealing with all week the thing of giving grace. Last week, well, probably for a couple of weeks or so now, maybe. There's just certain things, certain situations, certain people just seem to be really, really, really getting under my skin. And I just didn't like the way it made me feel. Um, So I always try to understand or see like what's God trying to do in me when situations or circumstances like this occur. God, what are you trying to say to me? And it's usually people that you're close to or that you spend a lot of time with. And I think it was Saturday or Sunday in there somewhere, and it was just like give grace. Give them the same grace that God gives you. Give the situation the same grace that God gives you. And I began to think about it. For one, and then on Monday he said, and you have to give grace in the workplace as well. So I know whenever I have to deal with something and things I go through, it's not just for me. It's my experience, and somebody has already experienced it. Somebody is experiencing it as well, or somebody will come along and experience it. And I pray that in my sharing, it helps them to navigate their situation better. But and it was I did the movie The Forge, which to me spoke a lot about discipleship, and which again goes in with grace, because you have to have grace when you're discipling people. You have to have grace because somebody may come to you with the situation, and you have to have the grace to be able to speak to them about it. You have to have the grace to be able to pray about it for them, with them, or what have you. You also have to have the grace about it to be able to navigate and help them get through. Be sensitive to what the Spirit is saying to you to say to them. And as our lady would say, give God a word first for Bishop, and then have Bishop give the word to the body. And that has become a prayer of mine as well, Lord. Speak to me first, and in the event that I may be able to help others, but help me with my situation. Show me how to navigate my situations. Show me in the word how to get through whatever it is that I am experiencing or dealing with. And so just all week I had been listening to different pastors via YouTube, and it just all came back to the same area. And it's forgiveness, it's giving grace, it's having patience. And I so felt led. I put a little, printed out a little paper and put on my door that I'm giving grace today. And not as a reminder to those, but as a reminder to myself, not as anything to those that enter my office, but I think the ones that needed to see it saw it, and they said something about it. Um, and I just thank God for the way He uses us to better ourselves and to help others in the process. So, as I was saying, I listened to several pastors during the week, um, and it all went back to grace, forgiveness, trusting God, believing God that what He has promised He will perform, and how we have to, not, and then again, not that our lives will be trouble free, but that when the trouble arises, we have to know that trouble won't last always. And that whatever we encounter in our lives, God not only knows about it, he's very, very aware of it, but He's also there with us every step of the way. And it means sometimes that we just have to stand still. We have to sit. We have to listen. We have to be attentive and in tune with what God is saying and what the Spirit is saying to us. I had a coworker come yesterday and had been going through some things, and she was just so happy yesterday. And she was like, she had gone to a Bible study the night before, she said, and I felt like God really spoke to me and my situation. And to her, she was like, that was an eye opener. And it was something else that had occurred in the week where she felt like she was led to do something. She said, well, God, if it's you, and I'll go in here, and if it's in this particular color, then I'll know that it's you, because I've only seen it in other colors. And so, of course, she went in the store, and what she was instructed to do was there. And guess what? It was in the color green. So, just to see people experience God in their lives, those God moments, is always encouraging. It's refreshing, because then with me, it takes me back to those moments when I know that I know that I know that whatever I was dealing with that moment, that it was actually God that spoke to me. It was the Spirit that led me. It was the Spirit that encouraged me. It was the Spirit that motivated me. It was the Spirit of God that, even if it came through someone else in a word or in a song, that it was God ordained and ordained. So I just thank God for that. And we say, when people begin to irritate us, it can be bothersome. But again, like, why are they trusting in you and acting out of fear, and they feel comfortable with you? Are they going through something that they really feel unstable in, but talking to you gives them some leverage and gives them some stability? Because sometimes we know, as in people, we can really be anxious about something, be nervous about something, be uncertain about something. And there is that someone that we can go and talk to. Not that the situation evaporates or is resolved, but when we talk to that individual, it may be something that they say to us that causes us to be able to ride the waves of the storm, or it calms the water of the storms. It gives us some inward peace about the situation of the circumstances, and that way we can move on, even though the situation may not have been resolved. But we have peace in where we are with the situation, and that we can know that God is there with us, and that God will lead us and continue to guide us, and that there's nowhere and no situations or circumstances that we encounter, any troubles in life that we encounter, we know that the Holy Trinity is there with us. The Holy Ghost is always there to comfort us. Jesus is always seated at the right-hand side of the Father, making intercessions on our behalf daily. So sometimes we just have to get out of that natural, that fear, that, oh wow, the reality of what is going on, and just step back and breathe, and know that God is there for us. He's with us. He's going to help us get through it. He already knows the end of the situation, but he will definitely walk with us through it, giving us peace, because he's a promise keeper. He is a promise keeper, and that which he has promised us, he will perform it. It will come to pass. And we just have to be steadfast in our faith and believe and know that if he did it before, he can and he will do it again. So that's about it. I just wanted to talk about giving grace to the things of life, to the people of life, to the situations of life that seem to be aggravating and irritating at times. People that seem to be clingy, maybe, for lack of a better word. They seem to latch on to you, and that can be draining sometimes. And they may have negative conversation that can be draining. And you can sense with people Sometimes their conversations with you are based on how you always conversate with them. If you conversing with them about being positive and trusting God and believing God and, oh, God did this for me, and no matter how bad it is, see your glass as half full. Well, when they talk to you, they want to mimic and give back what you've given to them. But the Spirit will allow you to sense that a lot of time, not a lot of times, I take that back. Sometimes it can just be lip service because they know how you operate. So they want to talk your lingo, so to speak. And you just have to be sensitive and you have to be in tune, because sometimes people will be pretentious, to just sometimes be in your company because they know there are things that you just don't tolerate, or you just operate a certain way, and they know that they have to come in a certain manner when they're with you. So, and sometimes you can sense those stuff, and it irritates you. Um, but again, extend grace. And that was my thing all week. I have been reminded so many times when I would think about things or people, conversations, situations in life, and just extend grace. Extend grace. Extend grace. So I want to say to you today, extend grace. There's someone in your life that you need to extend grace to today. And the reward of extending grace will be great. So extend grace. Go into your weekend, your long weekend, Labor Day holiday, extending grace. Extend, and then guess what? Not just extending grace to others, extend grace to yourself. Stop beating yourself up about choices you've made, situations that you feel like you could have handled differently or you should have handled differently. Extend grace to yourself because you deserve it. You're worthy of it. Extend grace in all avenues and areas of your life this week. Let that be your intentions as we move into the next week, the week ahead of us, extending grace. Have a fantastically faith-filled Friday, a soulful Saturday, and a soul-stirring Sunday in the church of your choice. To those of you that are traveling, be safe out there. Arrive at your airports early because record numbers I hear are traveling this holiday weekend. Be safe on the road. Be vigilant. Um, get rid of those distractions. Set your music and all that before you get on the road. Be mindful of the cars in and around you, and definitely those that are out on twos doing things this weekend. Be careful, drivers in your cages in your cars. Be mindful of those out there on their motorcycles and everything. And y'all be blessed. And until we meet again, may God continue to bless you real, real good, and that you'll know that He's a good, good God, and that what concerns you concerns Him. So extend grace. Amen. Have a great day. Bye bye.